Hoop heads, welcome on the couch. This is the Hangout, Canada's home for talking hoops. Of course, every week we get together and spit the truth about the game that you know and love. I am Akil Augustine, and I always invite three of my best friends in the basketball world to come down and break the game down with me. Of course, we have Dan Gladman with us, of course, for the second time this season, running hard with his Toronto Raptors, the producer of the broadcast. Thank you, as always,
great to be here.
For carving some time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
Always.
Okay, Dwayne Watson, radio personality for TSN Radio. And if you look closely in that new My North commercial that Sport Check is running, it's like a long, extended, dramatic shot of Dwayne out
I thought
there.
you were going to say you have no friends. That's why you got us on the couch.
Yeah, so I guess that would make the couch the no friend zone.
Ah.
Oh.
Hashtag.
It's going to be in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Yes. And another one of my non-friends, of course, Devo Brown, Kiss 92. Thank you so much. My favorite hipster back on the couch.
What can you do? What can you do?
Okay, let's get into it. If you're a fan of the Hangout, then you know that I come on this show and I talk a lot about the Lakers because, you know, I'm an old school Lakers guy. My dad, growing up back in Trinidad, was a huge Lakers fan. It was like the only team you could watch outside of North America. So I've been a Lakers fan a long time. I know you guys have been waiting for this day, this opportunity. The sun may or may not be setting on my guy, Kobe Bryant. But first, we start off with the matchup that opened the season. The Lakers currently 0-2, but they did match up with the Houston Rockets and a former famous Laker, Dwight Howard. Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard got into a little bit of a tussle, of course, well after the game is in the hands of the Houston Rockets. Kobe playing that full court D, Dwight Howard taking exception, throwing an elbow in Kobe's face. First off, Kobe's still taking a little bit of exception to Dwight's presence in general. Should Kobe let this feud go? Dan, fellow Kobe supporter, your thoughts?
Well, Kobe really has nothing else this year. I mean, we know, and look, I'm not from Trinidad. I grew up watching the Lakers in Toronto, and they were my team growing up as well, and I love what they've done. But right now, it is as bad as it's ever been historically for the Lakers, and they really don't have anything to play for. They're not even the top team in their own building, let alone their own city. Should they keep the feud going with Dwight Howard? Absolutely. It's a storyline for them this year. Howard left.
But the only problem is it's a losing storyline. I agree with you. Kobe should not back down.
What else do they have? Julius Randle's now gone for the year.
Oh, no, don't give away our bag yet. But Sweets chime in. Are you cool with Kobe using whatever little motivation?
That's who he is, though. He always finds that motivation. I mean, I'm glad he didn't take that whole ESPN ranking thing, whatever. But Dwight elbowed him in the face. And like you said, you're soft.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the thing. Dwight needs to own that if he's going to do it, right? Like, you're going to elbow the guy, just be like, yeah, I elbowed you, so what? But for Lakers fans, I just want to give you all a hug. That's really what it is. It's sad for you guys.
Okay, there's a couple of guys,
right?
There's a couple of guys chiming in, no longer with the Lakers, of course. Mr. Green chiming in with his thoughts. It was never with the Lakers, of course, but the guy that was Meta World Peace, of course, back in China. So he may hop a flight and come help Kobe. Kobe could use his assistance. But back to what Dad was saying earlier, really bad times. Are you guys surprised no one else jumped in? I mean, I saw Ed Davis jump in on Kobe's behalf. Kind of weird, but I mean, are you surprised?
Ed Davis looks like the second best player on that team.
Right?
Yeah, oddly enough.
I thought it was funny that Patrick Beverly was the peacemaker in this whole thing. He's like, guys.
I didn't do it, so
Beverly,
I didn't do it, so you all need to calm down.
Yeah, right.
All right, now another thing, of course, that we got to talk about with these Los Angeles Lakers is the big pickup for them in the offseason, despite the massive amounts of money they had available in free agency, was Julius Randle with that 7th pick.
I thought you were going to say Carlos Boozer.
You got amnesty. That's not a big. If you got amnesty, you're no longer a big.
Boozer's not a big pickup, period.
He was a couple years ago.
A couple years ago.
All right, so anyways, back to the point. Julius Randle, broken tibia. That's a bad look, especially for a team with not a lot of good things going on for them. How bad can it get these Lakers now that they don't even have the guy that they were planning on kind of slowly building the future around?
I wrote a profile for TSN.ca and I said the Lakers are going to be the worst team in the Western Conference. And this is before Randle got hurt. Am I wrong? Am I looking wrong right now?
Well, you mean you just stole my next question,
well,
so I'll throw it out now.
Yeah.
It hurts to even ask this question, man. Jeez. Are the Lakers going to be the worst?
So sad right now.
I know.
Yes, 100%.
Because like all the haters are jumping on right now. Enjoy this.
How do you see them winning 20 games? And the worst part about the Julius Randle thing is they knew they weren't going to be competitive this year, so it was a chance for him to get tons of playing time and minutes. Let's see what you guys can do, learn on the job, and now for that to be delayed another year, that kills even more hope for the Lakers. Sucks.
Kobe Swan song is going to be tough, man. It's going to be real tough.
I would have it no other way. Speaking of swan songs, Steve Nash, we touched it a little bit last week.
Can we find a positive thing to talk about in LA?
No,
Byron Scott,
the Clippers.
baby!
The Clippers.
B. Scott!
That's your positive story in
No,
LA.
your positive story. Okay, here, I got something I want to throw out there because we can't even talk about Steve Nash really because that's such a sad situation.
Yeah.
Will Byron Scott outlast this tenure of bad Lakers basketball? Because he's a Laker guy, ex-player, but taking this job, it's kind of like he took the wrong pill when Morpheus offered him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the job.
Right now, there's no expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew like about locking up Kobe, they couldn't get a good player, so they're not going to be competitive for a while. So I don't think there's any pressure on him to win.
Yeah.
Especially with it.
You can't look at a coach and say, hey, you've got Kobe Bryant and Jeremy Lin, go win. It's a championship. There's no chance. Those guys are great players. Kobe,
Who's a great player? I'm a Lakers fan, but I would never say Jeremy Lin's a great player.
He's a good player, dude.
Good
Great?
player, not great.
Okay, good. Potential.
He's really not
to
a
be decent.
top-notch starting point guard.
I
in
saw
the
a
NBA.
turnover from
He
him
just
that
isn't.
looked like the worst thing I've seen.
He had a good 3 weeks.
He has flashes still, though, man.
Hey,
There's
of course.
those chances that.
Consistency.
All right,
Yeah.
listen, we got to go to break, of course, but we got more to come here on Canada's Home for Talking Hoops. This is the Hangout. On the other side of the break, it was game 1 of the Toronto Raptors season 20. And we were all there kicking it, the party in the square. Drake was in the building. Raptors win. We'll be back.